All right, we hit 12:05, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of get started. Again, Sadie, thank you so much for showing up. I am going to go ahead and keep it really short for this week. But just like always, let's kind of go ahead and start off with an update from our hosts, our co-hosts. Obviously, it's you and me. So I'll go ahead and kind of dive in. The last 2 weeks have for me have been nothing but hectic, crazy. Um, Unreliable, uh, uh, and everything that a young designer doesn't need, it feels like that's been thrown in my lap. So, I've been all over the place. It's been a wild couple of weeks, trying to work with different potential clients, self-teaching myself, different advanced techniques, and then also, just being a regular person, taking care of my dogs, hanging out with friends and family and loved ones, and the like. And it's been a lot. So, proud of myself that I have a lot of energy and I'm focused. I've run a few projects and companies in the past, and just have a really good sense of how to dig deep, and how to not give up, and not hit burnout. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a tough couple weeks. And when I kind of looked around at some of my friends and family, and my colleagues in design, um, it felt very, very similar. So I've had a rough couple of weeks, but I'm still up. I'm still moving. How about you, Sadie? How are you?
I'm good. I've just been working and doing school, just trying to live life, I guess. You know. But
All right, that works. That works. So, uh, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was just ghosting, and resume ghosting, and that was just something I had noticed. It felt really sad. It felt very discouraging, both to myself. I'm assuming it feels very pretty discouraging also to the employers that are handing out these pretty generic pretty generic denial messages, and the like. So, uh, you know, it how one of the things that I think to the future in is to say, how can we make a better environment for others? How can we connect uh, people better to jobs that they want, and that they're that they're actually qualified and capable of doing. And I think a lot of people have talked about that for years and years. And I know we're in that, 30 25 to 35-year old, age cohort. And but we're the future. And right now I think we're the ones that really do need to stand up and have the gusto just to say, hey, the current systems are laughably outdated. Nobody's being fooled here. Whether you're been in the job market for 30 years or you've been in the job market for 3 days, it's laughable, and it can be fixed. It's nothing to talk down on the specific people. There's incredible people out there. I'm always a fan of humanity, and what the human spirit can do. But also, when greed gets involved, when politics gets involved, it does feel sometimes out of control. So, go back to my original point of ghosting. It's really sad to see that that's becoming an industry standard. That's one of the things that I will be talking about moving forward. Whether it's ghosting actual individual people that have spent time emailing you back and forth, setting up scheduled meetings, being unprepared in those meetings, making promises that people can't follow through on, and the expectations, and how those actions are handled afterwards is really the point that I'll focus on here in these rooms, and moving forward. And people can call me whatever they want to, but I personally don't think that there's any room just for anything other than just honesty and friendship and just truth between two people. People are allowed to make mistakes. People are allowed to not do what they say. But again, how it's handled and how it's handled afterwards, and then more importantly, how the rest of the world's able to look at those people and look at those actions and how that ecosystem looks moving forward is kind of my point. But wanted to throw it over to Cut from Cloth. Cut from Cloth, thanks for showing up, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just working on my project, and I'll give you something to talk about. Why does all fidelity and all uh, prototyping need to go to the lowest common denominator? Like, why do we need to make it more boring to fit something rather than make it better all around to make it fit into the flow?
No,
That's
I
what I'm
love this.
dealing
I
with
love
right
this.
now.
No, I love this. I love this. Let's talk about this. We're literally going to be here for 10 more minutes. Again, thanks for showing up. We're going to end with finer needs design. But no, thank you for that. So, can I ask you a more specific one? I felt it a ton through my recent boot camp, and I feel it even when I'm working with clients. Dude, go expand on your thought. Without throwing names out there, what is there something that's bothered you this week? We kind of did our updates. I can go back and do a quick one, but no, I agree. I expand for the people.
Um, if you come up with a sweet looking design and wireframes, why do I have to, or why does anyone have to make their screens look worse to fit the rest of the wireframes?
Okay, I agree. So
Instead, why
so
don't the other wireframes look better to
better.
match the
Right.
better look?
Yeah, no. Can I? So let's talk about this. So, Sadie's not in design, but she works with people, so she understands as well here. And but Sadie, what we're talking about is in UX design, we have a few different stages. Maybe one stage might be sketching by hand. Another stage might be taking some of those sketches and not adding color or not even adding pictures or maybe not even adding real words, but just kind of putting things in place which would kind of symbolize what a mobile app or a desktop app would look like. And that's called low fidelity wireframing. And then we have an additional one that's adds pictures, colors, and things like that. And this would be called mid fidelity or high fidelity prototyping. And these are the stages that you go through as you develop an app, a website. And what Cut from Cloth is kind of talking about and frustrated with, and I completely agree. And this needs to go out to the people, which is why I experienced it myself. Because there's a team leader, because somebody else's vision looks a specific way. Uh, Cut from Cloth is bringing up and saying, yeah. If I design on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I believe that my designs are incredible and really make an incredible user experience, and I'm excited to bring this to market. I'm confident in myself, and I'm a real leader myself. And some other person inside the design team takes a completely different approach, maybe a slower approach, maybe a more methodical approach, maybe a more iteration style approach, and they come back and how do you go ahead and put those two designs together? And the frustration that's shared from Cloth is why is the human spirit going towards, why is corporate America feels like, right, design, big large design teams opting towards a less fun, a less robust, a less interactive user experience for the user based upon what we have seen in the past, which completely defeats the purpose of what we're doing and why there's such a big stagnation in the job market. Cut from Cloth. Any other additional thoughts?
Um, yeah, just I mean, just to give a specific example, I had a green background gradient, added some depth to the frames. Everyone else had regular white, F F F F F F F, and very boring to look at. Instead of meeting me somewhere halfway with the background, we went straight to everyone has to do F in order to make it succinct, which there is compromise, and I get that. And maybe my gradient background was not the way to go, but neither was 50 F all white, you know? So
No,
that's the
I
deal.
do. I do know. I do know. And I've talked to
And it's not
people
really
online.
frustration. That's compromising in a group. That's part of it. But also, at the end of the day, is it the right move? Yeah, we will see. I tend to say it's not, but it is what it
Well,
is.
let me bring up another point. Did you guys go to because I agree with you, Alfredo. The industry is not sticking to its own rules and has major hypocrisy in it. I think that's why we're here every Tuesday, every other Tuesday at noon here on Twitter Spaces, and we invite everybody else from the communities to come hang out, get your frustrations out, learn something, talk, have fun, build community. But what you're talking about is real. Why did we opt for just white?
I think it's a comfort thing. I think people stray from difference, and I think that everybody wants to do the same thing because they're comfortable with it. If they see something different, they get scared. So I think that's got something to do with it also. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Sadie, I agree. And cut from cloth, I laughed because I brought up the hypocrisy and thank you to Sadie for kicking my mind into overdrive. But I went back to say I saw it in a lot of my recent groups. Uh, how about how the groups and group leaders have forgotten that to get the actual answer, the real answer, it was supposed to go back out to the users. So, did you guys ask any of your interview users what color they thought it should be? Or did you just have a group leader decide that it was white?
Currently going through second round of usability tests, and we will find out what the results are. No, it's just, and it's not frustration as much as like it didn't make sense to me, and it's part of compromise and being in a group, and time
Wait, hold on. Let me
constraints.
let me let me throw this one back. Let me throw this one back at you, right? So I'm with you. So designer one, his name is D1. Designer one, they want all white. Designer two wants some sort of coloration and gradient to add a user experience feel aesthetic. Uh,
Well, they want all white to fit the design style
I no,
of
I
the
understand.
corporate
I
app.
understand.
Which, if the corporate
Understand.
app isn't correct, then you're going
No,
down the wrong path to begin with.
no, and I agree, and that's the point that I'm trying to bring up, and that's the point that I'm trying to make here, right? Which is, and at this point, did anybody go back to the users and find out, or did we just say the last app was white, so this one has to be white?
It was purely to make congruent design styles.
Okay, so nobody went to the users and
Yet,
asked what they.
currently
Okay,
doing
okay.
usability tests.
No. Doing usability tests with white screens. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not even what I'm saying. Usability tests with colored screens versus usability tests with white screens. Nobody did that.
Nope.
Okay, that's the problem in UX. So let me go ahead and go into finer needs design. Uh, This one goes over to Cut from Cloth. Indoor and outdoor climbing apps and community resources. This is a layup for you. It's what you've been working on. Fine or needs design?
Oh, definitely needs design. Doing research and interviewing the real motherfuckers that go out and plan climbs and design climbs, which are notoriously dangerous and detail oriented. Gather information from multiple platforms and multiple mediums in order to do it, and they all are picking and choosing the best of each, and therefore that creates a giant gap that can be designed where you would take those best parts of each and put them in one spot and figure out the pain points and solve them for climbers with climbers in order to make climbing trips easier to plan, easier to design, easier to and less cumbersome to look through books, apps, and talk to people with word of mouth.
I'm excited to see what you build because I know that you've been passionate about this, and I'm excited to kind of see if you continue to run with it moving forward. Because I agree with you. I know there's something there. I personally had some slight experience in this, doing a case study a few months ago for a national park in remote Alaska, and a lot of the project entailed a lot of this kind of stuff: wilderness, outdoor living, the safety aspects to it, how to get there. And I know you and I were laughing offline about, hey, important information is things like,
There is a there is a there are multiple pain points in that community that have been doing things the same way for decades, and if any designer wants to jump into that pool, it is there to be designed in.
yeah, and I really appreciate you bringing up that real world scenario. I'm going to bring it up again and again as we move forward. Uh, I wasn't coming at you. I felt like we were on the same page, and you brought up if we listed 10 major things that are wrong with the current UX design marketplace and what need to be fixed. For me, that what you brought up is in the top five. So I was passionate about what you said. I have experienced it multiple times myself. Um, if I was able to write a list of important things to do as a leader in UX design, I would put either number one, number two, or number three exactly this: when any member makes a submission, that the bare minimum would be to adopt 50% of the design as a group into the design, and then B, ask the individual, did we include enough of your design into the design to make you happy to keep you part of the group moving forward? Period. If we're creating great design for people and we're having issues inside of our own design teams and we're opting for old technology, we're not going to move forward. So thank you for speaking up. I really appreciate that. Hey, Sadie Lou, real quick, I'll throw that over to you. Do you have any thoughts on climbing, outdoor climbing, hiking, anything like that? Finer needs design.
I feel like everything that has design in it needs more design. I think once you stop I really don't think people should stop designing. I think that it just needs to keep going. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, there's always room for
It
more.
does.
There's always room for more. So
Yeah, it does. It does. And that's the best part about design. Thank you for saying that. And I encourage all the designers out there, and encourage myself and others. But yeah, iterative design to look at something and try our best and to get something that works for everybody, and or try our best to get something that works for best for everybody. And then, like you said, Sadie, just to keep designing, to keep tinkering, to keep adding a new drop down menu, a new portal, a new place for additional users, and then really be able to actually support that, and it's sad that I don't really see a lot of that. So the last two over here, accessibility for older folks. Okay, I'm gonna throw this to Sadie first. So accessibility and design, is braille on the outside of a zoo door to let you know what animals are inside, or the actual button that opens the door for a wheelchair, or so many of those, or even a ramp that goes up versus that's next to the stairs, or uh, or the ability. I don't know if anybody's ever hit their keyboard too many times and turned on the accessibility feature where your mouse announces your computer announces wherever your mouse is on the screen. So if you roll over Google Chrome, it says Google Chrome. And so those are accessibility features. Okay. So real quick, Sadie, in your opinion, I know you work with elderly every day. How what would you say? Fine or needs design for accessibility features for older folks?
Um, Definitely needs design. I can't tell you how many times I've gone out to public or just where I'm at, period, where I can't take care of an elderly person the way I want to because I don't have the design I need. I've gone to the zoo and it literally, like, they had like this guy in a wheelchair and the door wouldn't open. So it was just like, people don't think about other people. I don't think they sit and think about it. I see it some places, but like, it irks my damn soul because it's sad. It's sad. There's so many people out here with disabilities and elderly people. They can't get around, and there's no room where I'm at, where I work, where I can like move the wheelchair in a better way for them to get through the rooms. Like, it's meant for people who don't have, like, the rooms themselves are meant for people who don't have like wheelchairs and stuff. And I'm like, what the is a regular fucking apartment? Like, they have like lower fucking what are they fucking called? I don't know. Like, we don't have Hoyer lifts. Like, there's shit that we don't have that we need. It needs design. All of it does. It pisses me off. They need to lower the countertops, like, type shit. Like, it pisses me off, bro. So yeah, we definitely need
Yeah,
design in that area because it,
yeah,
it
no,
frustrates them because they feel like they can't do it no more, and they genuinely can't, and they can't do what I'm doing because they can't get to it. I just it just it hurts my damn soul.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate you speaking on it. I appreciate you putting a real world face to it, and thank you for what you do every day, picking those people up and getting them dressed and getting them showered and getting them ready for their day and their life. We see you, the design community sees you, and that's why we're here today. Is to and thank you for coming up again. Is to talk about it, to give a face to it, and to pick leaders and to create ideas and innovation moments moving forward, so that we can better it. I'm gonna throw this over from Cut from Cloth. I appreciate you. We're almost out of here. I'm gonna get 2 minutes and we're out. Especially that you're coming over during the middle of your sprint, so I appreciate that. Cut from Cloth. Real quick, accessibility for older folks, fine or needs design?
Oh, it needs so much design. I mean, clearly the stuff was not built for the people using them in mind. Plain and simple. Make products for people who use them.
Yeah, and I go to say, I'm sick and tired of hearing the bullshit excuses from bottom line corporations, bottom line people in a corporation, or bottom line people that only focus on the bottom line about the numbers don't back uh, 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 putting accessibility features into design apps, hardware. That's complete bullshit, because the people are not bottom lines. Humanity and our future is about togetherness. love, respect, understanding the growth of world societies. So I will speak on that, so for me, accessibility for older folks needs so much design, whether it's on the hardware side, whether it's in the software side, whether it is infrastructure, how to get into a pool, how to get a Hoyer lift, mechanism system. Cool, you didn't install it when you built the building. That's okay. A lot of things come on wheels that can be locked to the ground. I think this is more of a humanity issue. I think the future is bright. I think it's going to take incredible leaders like everybody in this room to be bold and to go out and to challenge the status quo. And if you believe you can make it better, just because the group shut you down today doesn't mean that your idea is not beautiful. So I wanted to make sure that you keep your head up, cut from cloth, and I see your vision, even if others don't. All right, last one, and then we're out of here. 1 minute. Education techniques to help us learn apps. Fine or need design? So, like, when you get a brand new app, like, and you open it up, like, that whole experience, fine or needs design? I'll throw it to cut from cloth.
When is the last time you went on a video and figured out exactly how to use an app? I don't know about you. For me, not once. As some guy whose version of how to use the app was shown in the video, it might have showed you one or two features, but a robust, coherent, step-by-step process on how to use something, whatever it is lacking across the board. I put together a bed frame 2 months ago, and the instructions for that were clearly not made by the same people who built the fucking bed frame. So that's my
I,
answer.
I, I, I absolutely love it. I know you got the community laughing here, so and I am as well. Sadie Lou, how about you? Um, uh, when you open an app or open something up, uh, is the education good? Do you know how to use it when you're done with their little walkthrough? So the question is, how's the education in apps? Fine or needs design?
It definitely needs design. I'm a dingbat, so I don't know how to use anything. I'm new to iPhones, like I'm new to everything technology wise, period. And I don't know what I'm doing. And it needs there needs to be more because I like go slow for me because I really don't know what the fuck's going on around here. And it definitely needs design. They need like idiot proof tabs for people who don't like who are just now getting into it. Like I genuinely don't even know how to use my iPhone completely yet, and it's pretty sad. But I don't know.
No, I think that's a no, no. I think that's a great idea, right? And I think that's why we're here today is to kind of bring in and build that community of people that are really smart like yourself and studying to be a nurse, but humble enough to say, hey, yeah, my boyfriend bought me an iPhone a few years ago, and I'm just learning fully what the capabilities of it are. And whether it's iPhone or Samsung or the Solana phone, right? There's all these incredible features that are built into it, and that's kind of what I wanted to go ahead and talk on and give face to. But no, the developers have done a phenomenal job, kind of building these things out. But I agree with cut from cloth. The real world applications for us as users seems not to be there. I personally have massive frustrations recently in a lot of my case studies by being asked in the very beginning of the project, what's important to you, and what was important to me for this aspect was the explanational explainer videos that were going to be needed for our users, and to only do that through basically a visual hierarchy of video backed with very minimal text, backed with a clickable option for full detail at a separate location. And I've yet to really be able to implement that in a group process because of the thing that Cut from Cloth brought up earlier, which was that's a brand new technique. That's a technique that's maybe used in smaller businesses or with smaller visionary entrepreneurs like myself. But in the industry standard, still we opt for large text, lots amounts of text. We'll put click here to see a video, which maybe even takes us off of the page or is done incorrectly or hidden and not seen by the user. Yet we know as humans that human interaction, seeing somebody's eyes, seeing somebody's smile, the color of somebody's lipstick, the color of somebody's tie, the color of somebody's belt, or the texture of somebody's leather belt, or what shoes they're wearing, or how they're dancing, or how they're standing. These things matter. So if we want to go ahead and bring this in and give things like Zoom a $10 trillion valuation and say, well, this is the future because I can see people, well, then we need to use that same method when we go ahead and build out mobile apps. So that's my soapbox, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best for showing up. Literally have the best co-hosts in the world. Gonna go ahead and do final words. I just did mine. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to Sadie Lou. Ladies first. Sadie, you got any last words? Thanks for showing up.
Not really. I think that I'm not in design like you guys are, but I think that if y'all ever get big, don't forget about the nursing homes and the assisted living because they need it more than anybody. I feel like those people built our country and we're forgetting about them. So there's that.
Here, here, Sadie Lou. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that, and we're never going to forget about them. Feel free to reach out to me. We talk online and offline. And yeah, just keep bringing me your ideas. Keep bringing Cut from Cloth your ideas. Keep bringing them to these rooms. Get them out there. Put a face to them, and things are going to get better. The future is super, super bright, and we have the ability to design incredible things. So that's an incredible last word. I really appreciate that. Cut from Cloth, how about you? Any last words?
That was a good way to end it. I don't think I have anything more to add.
I hope you have an awesome rest of your week, an awesome rest of your class, Cut from Cloth. I hope you have an awesome work day. Go ahead, guys. Get out of here. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys again Tuesday in 2 weeks. See ya.